Welcome.
That was a solid clap.
It really was. Am I keeping?
I know I just ruined your intro for that.
You know what? We're gonna roll with it. Keeping it in there. Welcome to the 79th episode of the Karstcast movie cast. Jeff, I'm very confident you're gonna get this one today.
All right.
In sports, what does IIHF stand for?
IIHF. That's like the. Oh, I think that's. So I don't think I know exactly what it stands for, but it's like some international hockey federation.
Yep. Wait, you're close. Just guess what the other I is. You're so close.
What could the second I stand for? I don't have it. I don't.
Damn. You know what? We'll give you a.
It stands for both I's in the word international.
Nope, that's not actually what it was. Also, that ding was so quiet, I feel like.
It was so quiet, which is,
that's about what you get for not getting it
right.
completely. It was International Ice Hockey Federation.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you know what? In retrospect, I should have gotten the word ice.
Yeah, see, I was like, he might have it if he just thinks of...
I was never going to get that, and I really should have.
It happens.
I don't know why I don't ever ask you questions.
I know, I kind of dodged that bullet because I'm really bad at trivia, so I would always get it wrong. Every time I ask
my hit
these,
rate's not good either.
It's not great, but like I would really not get a single one. Unless it's like
right.
kind of a relevant movie one. Then I'd be like, I probably have a good shot.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I know like kind of a lot about a few different completely like random subjects. Mm-hmm. And you are one of the lucky people who most of their knowledge is condensed into one thing.
And, the sad thing about that is that, like, I'm not even that good at that one thing. I know, like, a good amount, but not nearly enough.
But it's enough where other people respect it.
Yeah, people care about what I have to say about it, which is something
is nice.
I feel good about. Yeah, I take pride.
You know, I have not reached that level, I don't think, on any topic.
You're dipping your toes in a lot of different things that you wouldn't expect in the same group. But yeah.
So it's like I'm fun to talk to at parties until I start going off on a tangent about ice hockey for 30 minutes. And you're just staring at me.
And then you're at the party listening to the podcast somehow. Yeah.
And I'm like, really, they should eliminate offsides.
Well, to be fair, I feel like I'm in the same group, but I go on for way too long about a movie. And the only person that's ever been on the same page with me as far as excitement goes is Brandon. Brandon and I at parties, unstoppable. Anyone else, nobody gives a fuck.
Especially Brandon gets like a little bit drunk, and then he gets his excitement meter. Because he's a naturally excited person.
Yep.
But he goes from like his normal 7 or 8 to like an 11 at parties when he's drunk.
And it's always a great time. Yeah. I think I've only interacted with Brandon. And no one cares. I don't know why we're talking about friends that haven't been this anonymous Brandon. But yeah, that's what I have to say.
If anyone follows my or subscribes to my YouTube channel, he was
Brandon.
in one of my thank you videos where I thank you, the subscriber, for subscribing.
Yep. Who's probably listening to this right now. Yeah. I just wonder if anyone subscribed to you that doesn't know about the podcast. You know, like
there's
you just
probably
popped
like
up
one person
in the recommended algorithm. That's the thing. One of these days, one of your videos, YouTube will just decide people need to see this.
Well, okay. So on the thank you videos, some of the recommended videos that I was getting when I clicked on it were other people's thank you for subscribing to those very low number videos. So there was a really good thank you for like 200 subscriber video that some guy had.
Wow.
He started like singing halfway through. See, that's where the real YouTube content is.
Yeah.
Is in the people thanking you for subscribing for extremely low subscriber count videos.
Yeah.
It's just unfiltered.
That's dedicated.
Thanking people for, they're dedicated fans. They're dedicated, content creators.
Yeah. Because if I started thanking my subscribers, it wouldn't make a dent.
Well, the problem is that you're too good at YouTube. It's too polished of a product.
Yeah.
You're not getting these unfiltered thank you for subscribing videos. Like, you would never sing for your subscribers because that's too embarrassing.
It's too embarrassing.
And they would just
I have danced for them
make too many memes. And then you deleted the dance.
And then I
one
deleted the
because
dance video.
because of that reason.
because it was embarrassing.
You're like,
Yeah.
this does not fit my very-
brand.
Yeah, your very polished image at this point.
This is all very funny, and I guess I'll tell you after this, or no, yeah, after this. But my next video is very funny, and I'm excited about it, and it just makes calling me polished look hilarious. But yeah. Anyways, how's your week been, Jeff?
Yeah, it's been
all right.
fine.
I have not had like good sleep this week at all.
Yeah,
three
I
nights
have
in a
not
row.
either.
3 nights in a row fell asleep at 4 a.m. And that's an awful feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually about where I am.
Really? Have we both just
Yeah.
been up since 4
Yeah.
a.m.?
Well, the thing is that, yeah, it's been weird because I've had some nights where I would just like only get a few hours of sleep and wake up, or a couple nights where I fall asleep at like 4 a.m. and wake up
Yeah.
at like 2 p.m.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
see,
I need a job.
honestly, I've been thinking the same thing. I'm like, maybe I guess like YouTube's supporting me. This is so stupid to say, but it's like I kind of miss just having a job that I have to be at,
Yeah.
you know? Because right now I just feel like I'm floating through the air. Sometimes I
Yep.
record a podcast. Sometimes I play some video games. I'm gonna start playing Rocket League, by the way. If
Okay.
you would like to.
We are gonna play together. We're gonna stream it one time on your Twitch.
Yep. Yeah, we
We're gonna see what
totally are.
happens.
You got it. We should get like a Discord so we can do the talking during the.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep, okay.
Yeah. So I'll
And
be
I'll
playing 'cause I
incorporate the
only have
soundboard.
an Xbox. So, but we can still like do Discord, and I can just talk to you over the. I'm actually getting a new headset soon.
Exciting. So you're gonna have like the full gamer setup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, because I only have an Xbox.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
have.
yeah.
I feel like the full gamer setup, you have to be on PC.
Yeah. The full gamer setup is that you're on a PC that you built yourself. you
Oh
know?
yeah, which my brother is actually about to do.
Really? That's awesome. I've always wanted to do that. I know a few friends who have. I thought Nick did, or he was going to, but yeah.
I feel like if he did that, he wouldn't only because I play Call of Duty with him sometimes, and it's on his PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I think if he built his own PC, that would not be happening.
No. Yeah.
That'd be a weird move.
Yeah.
He's like, why would I want 130 frames when I can get 60 frames on my PlayStation?
Yeah. But anyways, I just it's bad. It wasn't just like I was up late doing something. It was one of those nights where you want to fall asleep. I started the process at like midnight because I had to be up like relatively early the next day. So I started it at midnight and then just kind of sat there, eyes closed, trying for 4 hours.
Oh,
And
that's not fun.
It's so bad. And I ran down the whole list, which is like I do comedy podcasts, and then if
Yeah.
not, I do the sleep podcast, and then I have like a sleep meditation thing on YouTube that I rarely use. And that
Yeah.
didn't work. And then at one point, I was like, what if I just listened to my own podcast? Because
I was going to recommend that because people have told us that works pretty well.
Yeah. And I'm like, I've already listened to it, so I guess it's like kind of boring. It could just be like white noise, and I could
Yeah.
just fall asleep. But then
Some
I put it
people
on.
would argue it's boring the first time.
Nope, that wasn't the right. Yeah. So I did that, but then I was like hyper focused on all my little like mistakes and like what I was saying, which I already go through when I edit it. So by this point, by the way, this would be like my 4th time listening to any episode, because I have to listen to them like.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's been my way. Hopefully tonight it's a better one. I might take melatonin for the first time, because
Melatonin. Here's the thing. It works for me really well. I haven't built up any tolerance to it. And like at some points I would use it for like a month straight. And it still works. But the thing is that I find it incredibly hard to wake up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
So
it's not
make sure, I would say that if you need to be awake at a certain time, make sure that you try to fall asleep like 9 hours before you want to wake up.
Yeah.
Because for me it works too well.
I mean, okay, well, let me ask you this, Jeff. What is like your average hour of sleep that you get every night?
So if I just wake up naturally,
Uh-huh.
probably 9 hours.
Okay, cool. I was just going to ask. Like, I know the average, like, you should be getting 8. And I try to
Yeah,
aim
that's
for
like how
8.
they're recommended.
Yeah.
The thing is, but if I just don't wake up, I just keep going.
Same. What I do is, like, I wake up and then I can't fall back asleep, but I lay in bed for long periods of time. Like, I'm in there for 2 hours tops, just sitting on my phone.
Just sitting.
Yeah. Just got out right now to record the podcast, actually. I'm kidding.
Which
that has happened in the past, though.
your bed looks partially made, at least.
Yeah, the life hack here is that you don't have to do anything. You just put the big sheet over everything.
Oh yeah.
And by big sheet I mean the duvet cover.
The big sheet.
The big sheet. The big sheet. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I have to say though.
If you want to have even more of a life hack, have just a curtain behind you, and then you don't have to ever make the bed.
Yeah. Just it'll be a green screen too, so we can.
Yeah, you can actually set Zoom just to like.
I could do a virtual background.
Put you some. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it like cuts out for a second. You see your room. It's just like full of trash.
Trash bags. Some of it's on fire. You're like, Karsten, no. Yeah. Okay, one last thing before we get into the movie today. If you haven't noticed yet, and for any video watchers, I'm trying to grow a beard over here.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've done the mustache many times, but this is the first time I'm really just not shaving any of this.
Does this part, like, kind of on the sides of your chin, does it connect to your sideburns?
So this is why I've never done this before, because this part never fills in. But I'm thinking...
Yeah, I have that problem too.
Yeah. I figured, like, if I just let it go, maybe it'll all fill in eventually. Like, I need to grow past a certain
it might.
point. Yeah.
Because
right now it actually looks further... If you look close, like, it is kind of connecting right now, but it's just a little late.
Yeah, I will say that my beard somehow, like, it became more full up until I was 25. So I think there's hope.
Yeah, definitely. I have, like, I come from a hairy family, right? So I think there's hope for me down the line. I just got to wait it out.
Right. You're Vikings.
We're Vikings. We're the skull, or whatever they say. I'm so out of touch with sports. Yeah, but that's do you have any tips though, Jeff, for someone with, you usually have a pretty good mustache.
I don't have a tip because yeah, you just go for it.
Just grow it. Okay. I didn't know if you have any
just,
oils or yeah.
No, I don't do that. Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't grow a mustache until I was older than you are now.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, on that note,
on that note,
today
a movie about ballerinas.
Talking about Black Swan. Nope, that's wait, I just started playing a bunch.
You're just like mashing the whole board.
Because
Can you play all the sounds at once?
I just did wait, let me just try and
My name's
wait, stop. Wait.
Does one of them activate the theme song?
Yeah, the top one does. Yeah, that was chaos. Today we're talking about Black Swan. No, I did the wrong one again. I'm sorry. This is a 2010 film directed by Darren Aronofsky, and the synopsis reads: Nina, played by Natalie Portman, is a ballerina whose passion for the dance rules every facet of her life. When the company's artistic director decides to replace his prima ballerina for their opening production of Swan Lake, Nina is his first choice. She has competition in newcomer Lily, played by Mila Kunis. However, that's the sentence. While Nina is perfect for the role of the White Swan, Lily personifies the Black Swan. As rivalry between the two dancers transforms into a twisted friendship, Nina's dark side begins to emerge. Yeah, I should have read that one beforehand. I didn't know I was taking it word by word.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered. But yeah, this is both of our first times watching this, right?
Yeah. So you're the one who suggested this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why did you do that?
Well, it's because I've wanted to watch it for so long.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think this is one of the biggest movies I've never seen. Because I feel like it was like such a cultural thing when it came out, and like even when I was like not paying attention to movies, like all I could hear about was like Black Swan, and it was like one of the like biggest movies, and I never saw it. It's like up there with Inception, which was like I hadn't seen it until like 2 years ago, where like I just missed out on that. I guess the other one is Avatar. Still haven't seen it.
Yeah, you really missed out on the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
The Avatar zeitgeist,
The Avatar.
where everyone was pretending they were 9-foot tall blue aliens.
Yeah. And the Blue Man Group was like,
Saw
we've
that.
been doing this.
They just started wearing stilts.
Grew out their hair. Yeah. But yeah, this is just why did I pick this? That's the reason, yeah. And I just read the synopsis for how long it's been out. It's been out for literally 10 years now, and for how big it was, it's like I never knew what the plot was. I just always saw these clips of Natalie Portman
either.
really frustrated while dancing, and I'm like, what could be wrong?
Yeah. Now, to be fair, now having seen it, I don't think that any like trailer really could tell you what the plot of this film is.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the psychological thriller category.
Yep, which I'll talk about. But also, the thing is this movie is it's got like a bunch of different things going for it. Like obviously,
Yeah.
like it's kind of a big like metaphor.
Yeah.
But also, there's like a bunch of like smaller like Easter eggs, I'd say, that Jeff and I aren't going to get into because we just don't do that on the podcast.
We're not smart enough.
We're not going to explain this movie. We're just going to talk about
Right.
what we thought of it. Just getting that one out there.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought was that I didn't see any swans.
No, I remember. I remember, like last week, I think during the podcast, I was like, "We'll probably see a swan at some point," and we never did. There was like a painting in the background of one shot where I was like, "There it is,
Yeah.
that's the swan," and it was not like the swan.
Right.
But yeah, did you think? Okay, we don't talk about like horror movies that often on this podcast, Jeff.
Okay, yeah. This was a horror film.
Yeah. And I remember I was watching it. I watched it in a group of friends, and we finished it. And one of us was like, "So you're talking about that with Jeff?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Okay, who said that?
I think it was either Jaxie or Cookie, but we were all thinking it. I was just, and I think Jaxie said you don't like body horror. Is this true? You're not a big.
I don't think I've ever discussed that with Jaxie, but
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how she just inherently knew that.
I think I could just I was like I agreed. I was like, yeah, I don't think it just didn't seem like a Jeff kind of movie.
Yeah, I didn't like the scene where she pulled off all the skin on her finger.
That, oh my god. Cuz like okay, it started happening and everyone in the room, I was that guy. Everyone in the room was like, "Ugh," and I was like come on. And then it kept going and I was like, "Ah, Jesus." Like this month has really like proved some things because I always thought I was like so good at horror movies and like body gore stuff, and then I watched The Conjuring and was really freaked out by that, and then I watched this and was really skeeved out by it. So
Yeah.
I'm not as tough as I thought I was.
Yeah. Okay. Some more initial impressions. Not after this film. This to me felt like a mashup of Whiplash and Fight Club in a way that I really did not enjoy watching.
Wait, in what way? I don't think I disagree, but
I mean, obviously there's a lot of similarities in the plots.
yeah.
Where a lot of the tension is performance based in these very high pressure, types of professions where if you make one error, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of the way that I'm blanking on the French actor's name in this.
Oh, Vincent Cassel.
Vincent, yeah.
Cassel.
Right, yeah. It's
He's a lot
one
like,
of the two.
Yeah.
of the Cassel or Castle. I don't know. He's French, so however the French would say that.
However you, yeah.
But there was a lot of similarities I thought to Whiplash in terms of that dynamic. Mm-hmm. And then Fight Club, it was just a lot of the psychological thriller elements, and obviously, if we get into the plot later, I think there's some of the ways that the psychological thriller genre manifests itself are similar in both films.
Right.
Identity stuff.
Now that you put it like that, I know what you mean. It's a very like tense movie.
Yes.
And like so what I really like about this is that like so often a psychological horror movie is relying on like you figuring out like this puzzle that they're setting up. Like Us is a great example of like a movie that I really like, but is like it kind of fails at being a horror movie in that it loses the delirious feeling you're supposed to have. Because a great psychological horror movie, in my opinion, like truly like puts you in the head of that character, which is so hard to do. It
captures the, like in this case, it captures the psychosis, like the feeling that the character has with the filmmaking.
Yeah. Where everything like you see, it's not like too on the nose, but everything's just really slightly off. Which is something The Shining does really well. I always think that's like the prime example of this. And this, I thought, nailed it. Because everything felt so off, and I loved it.
And there's a lot of jump scares in this film.
Yeah.
Which I think they were effective, but that does not mean I enjoyed them.
I just realized I think this is the first horror movie we've talked about on the podcast. Total, and we've done a lot of episodes. But yeah, this was scary. I just think it's scary the last 30 minutes really, and I won't spoil it yet, but those moments are the scariest to me. Just because everything is like so high, like the risk is higher. Like because before it's like she's just kind of practicing, but now that everything, it's like it's very time based. I was very on edge. I was stressed and scared.
Yeah.
And very into it. But yeah.
I just right after you said that, I know someone's going to use that clip. I was stressed and scared and very into it.
Very into it. Oh no. Yeah. Anyways, have you seen any other Darren Aronofsky movies?
That's a list of films I should have looked up.
Oh, yeah. It's like Requiem for a Dream, or Mother, or The Wrestler, or The Fountain.
So here's what's sad.
He did
now
Jackie?
This is
No.
something that I don't want to admit, but I will. I've seen one other Aronofsky film.
Okay. And it is?
I'm just making sure that it was Noah.
Okay. I was like, I swear to
Navy
God.
Pure IMAX.
Swear to God, if it's Noah. I never saw
so here's
Noah.
the thing. My mom was in town in Chicago, and we were like, she wanted to go to Navy Pier, which is a thing that people who aren't in Chicago go to.
Yep.
No one in Chicago goes to Navy Pier. I've never, ever living there, I'd never gone with someone who live in Chicago. Wait. I'd never gone with someone who did live in Chicago.
Yeah.
One of the so my mom wanted to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
It sucks.
But this was like middle of the day, and she's like, yeah, let's see a movie. So the only thing playing, because it's one gigantic screen, it's just, the Navy Pier IMAX is like a super large IMAX.
Yeah.
And because it's so big, they only have one screen. Mm-hmm. So the only thing playing at that time was Noah.
So you saw Noah.
So we saw Noah.
You got to see the big arc.
Yeah, it was just Russell Crowe and Emma Watson.
To be fair,
Noah. It was not good.
No, yeah. Good movie to be at the Navy Pier IMAX, though. Great pier movie, because boat.
Yeah, except for it's not though, because it's not a good movie. So it's just not. It's not a good movie to see anywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like the most forgettable blockbuster ever.
Damn, I was gonna say it made a shit ton of money and cost a lot of money, but nobody ever talks about it ever.
Probably because those Navy Pier IMAX tickets cost so much.
Yeah.
I gave them all the money.
Yeah. I saw it at that Navy Pier IMAX, and it was
Okay, that could be fun.
a really fun time. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I was like, that was a really cool movie, and then I didn't see the sequel.
What else have you seen at the Navy Pier IMAX?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Did you know I was gonna say that?
No.
Oh man, perfect, awesome.
But yeah, I saw Interstellar was the other film I saw there. So those are the only two I've seen.
That's a good one.
But Interstellar seems like it would have been good to see there, but I got there late, so I said this before on the podcast, but I sat in the front left corner, so I could only see like half the screen at a time in my field of view.
Oh my god, that's kind of a long movie. So you're like,
Yeah.
your neck is just.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh my! Cause I was like this, and then also
Yeah.
for the reverse shot,
Oh
like
Jesus!
I had to go like this and then this to see each character talking whenever it like cut between them.
That sounds awful.
It was like watching a tennis match.
Yeah. Would you see this movie in IMAX? Get to watch that.
I don't know if I ever want to see this movie again. It stressed me out too much.
Also, I was thinking like, well, you texted me last night. You were like, "I'm watching Black Swan." And I expected, just because this is the rhythm of the podcast, I expected you to watch this like right before, because I watched them right before. But no, you watched it at the best time to, I would say, watch it, which is just at night.
At night,
Yeah,
alone in the dark.
Yeah. I don't know. I really liked it though. I'm not gonna lie. Even though we might be in agreement here, I thought it was really. I thought it was, well, I won't say fun, but I was interested.
I thought it was the best made film school film ever. Just in terms of how overt the metaphor was.
That I will, yeah, for sure. Like right off the bat, I was like, okay,
black
so that's
versus white.
Yep. Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, Nina, is wearing white, and now she's going out to a club, and she's about to make a bad decision, so she puts on black.
Black, yeah.
She puts on a black shirt that the person gave her.
Yeah. That is
okay.
Pretty on
One
the
thing I
nose.
wanted to talk about. I rented this off Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Amazon plot summary, it calls the film in its own like blurb a compelling masterpiece. Like, how did they navigate that? Like,
Yeah.
I should put something on Amazon and call it a compelling masterpiece. Like, who gets to decide what that says?
Darren Aronofsky put it in himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you guys. Sorry.
No, you say what you were gonna say. Cause
I was just gonna say it was a really throwaway comment, but I was gonna say Mila Kunis's back tattoo was super weird.
It was weird. It was weird. It was weird in a few ways, but yeah.
Like, it didn't look like a real tattoo, but then also it's like there's some shifting stuff throughout the.
Yeah. That was a weird.
film.
Definitely not the kind of tattoo I'd.
Yeah, I also don't know, like, I didn't figure out what the symbolism for the tattoo moving was, other than relating it to
Probably just
it
a
being
horror.
not real.
Yeah. There was like a few like weird symbols
Yeah.
that I didn't get.
Did you like any character in this film?
No, not a single one.
Yeah.
I kind of liked Natalie Portman's character. I mean, she was crazy, but like
She was kind of like mean, and also she reminded me of people I know that just make me very anxious to be around because they're so anxious.
Yeah. You want to name drop any of them on the pod?
Yeah. Jaxie. No, just kidding. But there was at one point with like 30 minutes left, and it was when Natalie Portman's character was starting, like a lot of stuff was starting to go down. Mm-hmm. And I had a brief moment where and this was completely a defense mechanism for my brain to try to be like less afraid. Mm-hmm. I was just like, why do I even care? I don't like any of these people.
Yeah. That's so funny.
But that was totally like a defense mechanism to try to like divest myself from the situation.
I've been thinking about that a lot because John brought up that he had a defense mechanism too when he was watching The Conjuring with us. And I just think I've never heard of people coming up with like little defense mechanisms while watching something they're uncomfortable at.
Yeah.
But I guess that's like common. And I guess I've unintentionally done it a few times myself. But, yeah. I don't know. I thought this was, what else was, again, Natalie Portman did really well in it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that. I always feel like I'm a little like let down by Natalie Portman, where she's like giving it her all, and I never really see it. But this time, she really, I
Yes.
forgot it was Natalie Portman completely.
I think that the fact that Nina was kind of unlikable was a feature of the performance, because there was nothing inherently bad about Nina. It's just the way that Natalie Portman played. I don't know. I'm not really making a real point here. I'm just going to agree that Natalie Portman's performance was very good. I'm kind of on the fence with Mila Kunis' performance. I thought she was kind of just playing Mila Kunis.
That's what I was thinking. I really liked her character. Like, she worked really well for the movie.
Oh, yeah, she worked, but I think they cast her to be herself.
Yeah. I was like, she's not that. Yeah. She could have been in any movie. I don't know. But yeah. I think, I don't know. I think it's effective for what it is. I feel like we still haven't said anything about it other than the fact that it's just disturbing, but I don't know what, I can't really go much past that without spoiling it.
Right. I mean, we could spoil it.
We could spoil it, yeah.
It is 10 years old after all.
It is 10 years old. I guess I will also say that, and this applies to Requiem for a Dream too, and I don't remember if it was used much in Mother, which is the only other Darren Aronofsky movie I've seen, but like the way he uses like classical orchestral music is like so good in this. It's just so, it feels like a classic movie kind of, just with how big and I forget what specific moments were great, but basically, like I said, the last 20 minutes were all just jamming itself in my face. that's not the way to say. You're
just going for sound bites just for people to cut out today, aren't you?
No, I got a really familiar, because right now they're all blank keys, so I'm just kind of hoping it's the right sound. But yeah, I just think it's really effective in that. But it also really plays into the student film aspect of it too. It does feel like a student film the more I think
Right, but it feels like the best student film ever.
Yeah, and that's also
Just to extrapolate on that, a lot of what I mean by that, and I said it a little bit earlier, is that some of the visual metaphors are just heavy-handed in that unless you have no idea what you're looking at, you're not going to miss them, which in a way is interesting, because then you know that everyone in the audience is getting them.
Yeah.
Rather than, if they're a little bit like more hidden, it's going to be lost on a lot of the audience. So it's a way to make sure that everyone kind of interprets the film the same way. I don't think this is a film that's really open for interpretation.
Yeah.
A lot. But yeah, in film school, people, as we both know, really have like a firm idea in their head of what they're trying to convey, and they just make sure that it's as obvious as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, just so many films are about like a depressed guy with like a guitar and he's like gonna kill himself, but then he like writes a good song and then like meets some girl,
right? And that's every student film.
Right, and then it ends with like him singing a song that's about him meeting the girl as they like walk on the beach or something.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm realizing more and more. This is a small Darren Aronofsky rant. Is that he is like the worst case scenario film student that somehow made it in the industry. And because this
Noah is also like a film school type film. It's just such a blatant film in every regard. Like
Mother is the weakest, like on the nose metaphor for like some biblical shit, and Requiem for a Dream is like a big Dare commercial. It's just he's so annoyingly on the nose and just stupidly symbolic with his films, but he gets away with it because they're so sensual.
Yeah, I mean the
Not sensual. They're so demanding, and you really like feel like you get wrapped up in them. And it's not fair. I don't know. I don't think they're that good of movies, but they are at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, all of the other components of this film, like the cinematography, the editing, I mean, it's all so like all encompassing that it wraps you in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that a lot of directors are so like brilliant that with a mediocre crew, they could still produce interesting work. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would agree. And again, I've only seen 2 Aronofsky films, but with what I've seen, I don't know if I would put them in that category.
Yeah.
I feel like they could produce some very hacky work if given a mediocre crew.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's why I think I like Black Swan the most out of any of what he's done, because it works really well from a technical standpoint compared to Requiem for a Dream is really cool and good. And I do really like it, but it is like kind of dated if you watch it now. It's so dated. Whereas this, it holds up so well watching it 10 years later. Like I could believe this came out this year.
Except for the cell phone.
The cell phone, yeah.
That just opened and it just says mom.
Yeah, I was like, which is, okay, that was also such a film student thing. I'm like, got the mom on the cell phone.
You got to show it.
Yeah, you got to show
it's
it.
Like we all
sure we
knew
know
that's who was calling.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, you just in case you didn't know, it's mom.
In big letters. Yeah. I think
that was also right before she changed shirts. So that's how you knew it was the transition, right? She hung up on mom and then put the black shirt on.
Yep.
It would have been better if the shirt said like, I'm a bad girl.
I hate my mom. Yeah, this movie is very on the nose like that. I've said on the nose so many times this episode, but I let it get away with it because I think it's consistent. At least it's
best
sharp,
done version of this type of film.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, it's the best student film. But yeah,
that would have been a good, if you did a video essay, you can use that title.
The best student film.
Black Swan, the best student film. That's a million clicks guaranteed.
Not a bad idea. Yeah. I think that's what I have to say about it though. I don't think I actually have to spoil that much. I don't have to say much past that. Besides the fact that I really liked it.
Yeah, with this type of film, honestly, for anyone who hasn't watched it, it's definitely worth watching. Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes you feel more than most films, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. I really see the hype behind it. And also, like, I think, like, there's not a lot of spots where it messes up the flow of what it's trying to say. It's very concrete in, like, this is what this scene is accomplishing. Now we're on this one, and it all flows really nicely, which is, I guess, it's the least you could ask for. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also, it was a bit weird how in the bar scene, Nina saw that Mila Kunis's character was spiking her drink, and then she still drank it.
Yeah.
That's the one part of this film where I'm like, wait, why is she drinking that?
That's where I was confused. Well, I was confused because I was like, okay, at the end of the day, I guess it's fucked up, but I guess that's like consensual of her because she saw it and then said only this much, right? And then the next day, she's like, you spiked my drink. And I'm like, you knew that. You knew that.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
That part, I don't know when the fantasy ended and began there. Because I know part of it was a dream, or not a dream, but like not real. But, yeah. I guess that's it for what I have to say. Do you have anything else to add to it?
No.
Okay. I will say I also loved the like set design because it was so specific. The whole movie felt, this is like one of my favorite parts about it, is that the whole thing felt black and white, like not just like black and white, but like it felt like a black and white movie without being that. And a lot of it wasn't even in like the color grade or anything. It was just straight production and costume, and I thought that was cool. It was a very detailed movie, but yeah, cool. What would you give it for time of day?
Time of day? Well, 1 a.m.
1 a.m. Ooh, I agree. Because it's also not that long, so it's like...
No, it's less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's just like the latest you're going to stay up. You watch it, and you immediately go to sleep, and you're like, why did I just watch that before going to sleep?
Yeah. So
and then you look at your fingers, and I'm like, I don't want to peel these off.
Literally today, I went to take out the trash, and I was like doing chores. Then I came back up, and one of my fingers was bleeding, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm in the movie now."
You were scratching your back a lot.
It's like, why am I doing ballet? Yeah. Cool. Well, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think that. So I gave it a 4, just because I didn't enjoy the experience as much which again was just because I don't love horror films.
From what you're telling me, that it seemed like pretty on the nose for. I gotta stop saying on the nose. God damn it.
Yeah. Because I acknowledge it's very good and effective.
Yeah, it's a very.
Does not mean I want to watch it.
Right.
Now that's not like, because I said that's actually like my exact review of. Well, it's not my exact review of Gummo. But that was that I just said I understand what it's doing.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. Where this, I understand and think it's good.
Yeah.
Gummo, I just hate.
You hate. Yeah.
I hate it.
I kind of want to watch Gummo at some point.
You don't want to watch it.
And then we can talk about it. Unless we just...
There's a scene of a guy eating spaghetti in a dirty bathtub.
That's the famous scene. Yeah, I know that scene.
And then he eats chocolate that falls in the... Oh.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that does it for Black Swan and Gummo, in a way.
Yeah. If you want to make Black Swan seem not very intense, watch Gummo first. Double feature. Gummo, Black Swan.
I would like to say we did a double feature of this movie with Barbie Swan Lake, which is very similar. It is.
Barbie's going crazy and like ripped off her own arm.
They are like the same plot, I guess, because it goes off the same play. But
right, because again, there obviously are parallels with like this film. One of the huge film school metaphors was the actual Swan Lake story was incorporated into the plot of this film.
Right.
Obvious, and that was like a huge part. We didn't really get into that, it's very obvious when you watch it what's happening here.
Yeah, which is
you literally cannot misunderstand what is happening in this film.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for Black Swan. Great line to end with there. You literally can't not understand this.
If you don't understand this film, I'm calling you dumb.
And it's time to get into the questions.
Question 1. Jeff, why are you calling me dumb?
This first one, this first one comes from Neverenders7, and it is, what's a movie you refuse to watch?
Gummo,
yeah. I guess I kind of, the way you're putting it, I definitely don't want to watch Gummo. But yeah, I can't think of anything I'm like, that, you know what? No. There's like a 4-hour long Napoleon movie from like the 30s. I think it's a silent film from what I know. I'm never going to watch it. Just putting that out there. I will not be watching a 4-hour period piece. I guess there was also like a 3-hour and 30-minute long like film that just premiered at New York. I don't remember the name, but it was also a period piece. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to.
Yeah, if you wanted to be in a period piece for 3.5 hours, you would just live in that time period.
Yeah, exactly. Jeff gets it. So yeah, that's my answer to that. What about you, Jeff? Gummo? Again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gummo.
Gummo again. This next one comes from Tyrannus Rex. It is you wake up too late on a Saturday and you're starving and it's 2 p.m. I guess this happens often if you say
It does happen to me a lot, yeah.
Too late for breakfast and lunch and too early for dinner. What do you eat? That's like, in my opinion, prime time for lunch. Actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, I believe that's a faulty premise.
Yeah, because it's not too late for lunch, and also,
Yeah.
we can fudge it a little bit and say not too late for breakfast. I will have.
I mean, I would say I just don't like breakfast as a meal in general.
Oh yeah, we've talked about this,
I don't like the breakfast foods.
and that's so fucked up. But yeah, I've been making breakfast wraps recently. Like I get some eggs and some bacon, cheese.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant you were making like songs
No,
about breakfast where
put
you were
the
rapping.
eggs in the pan. No, no follow up line. But yeah, that's I guess I'll be making breakfast at that time. Yeah. You know what? No, I will go. This is the perfect idea. Get a bagel sandwich, but it's like a lunch sandwich. So it's like bagel, but you know, that maybe there's some like it's like a
Right.
BLT on a bagel.
Yeah, I mean that sounds all right. But
Yeah.
okay, but hypothetically, what would the next line be of that rap? You put the eggs in the pan.
I put the eggs in the pan. Bacon in my hand.
Keep going. Two more lines.
I like my eggs scrambled.
You can't rhyme with scramble.
No, I'm starting up I'm starting anew, so it's like two bars, and then you start the next rhyme.
Okay.
I like my eggs scrambled. And then
That's breakfast handled.
2 bacons, that's a handful.
Too bad you didn't on your like. You should have made a beat as we were going with the soundboard.
Oh yeah, I bet there's like a they have a downbeat loop. Number 6. Why isn't it working? Oh, I deleted it. That's not the beat. Wait, this might. It's not playing. Okay. So that's the breakfast wrap for today.
You say lines and say, "Oh, the beat's not working."
Yeah, just promise me there's a beat playing right now.
That should be the new like rapping style we invent, where the beginning you're like, "Okay, the beat's not playing," and then you just go for some like bars with nothing behind it.
Yep. All right. That does it for that question, I guess. City Girl Lover asks, what do you recommend for starter film equipment? Camera, mics, etc. I think we're both decent at answering this. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So
would you say?
I would have a lot of advice if I knew what the budget was.
Mm-hmm. I would say this is like I'm gonna assume here this is someone who is like in film school or like in high school, like kind of wants to make their own films. Like, what do you suggest? Like just having on deck yourself, because you have a lot.
I mean,
a decent amount.
So definitely do not invest in like lights yet. Because I have like 2 lights, and they're like cheap LEDs, but they're a couple $100 each.
Yeah.
But that's something where you can get away with like natural light. I would say you obviously need a camera.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't go too cheap on the camera, but you also don't need to go super expensive. For anything that's digital content that's going to be viewed like mainly on a phone or a computer, 1080p is fine. Don't worry about getting any kind of 4K thing. But you also don't want to get like a camcorder that has like digital zoom and stuff. What you want is an actual DSLR or a mirrorless.
Yeah.
And like if you're just, like I'm looking into buying a new mirrorless camera just because I don't really have a camera for photography, so I'm gonna try to get one that does both. But
yeah.
But you can get something like a T3i, which is like a very old camera at this point, for $200, and for 1080p it'll look pretty good. And you can also then have access to the Canon, EF lenses, where you can get the Canon makes a plastic 1.8 aperture 50 millimeter that's new is $100. So usually you can probably get like $50.
Yeah.
You know, and that'll look nice because the thing is that for lenses, you just want to get lenses that are reasonably fast. Just because to make things look cinematic, you pretty much are looking at depth of field. So that means that generally you don't want anything. I don't know. People, this is a very long answer I could get into. So if you want a more extended answer, you just message me on social media.
Yeah.
And like let me know specifically because I could talk about this for like an hour straight easily.
Yeah.
And it really depends on what you're trying to shoot. You know, because I'm trying to get like a more compact setup for traveling. So I'm trying to get a mirrorless that is good for stills, but also can still do video. So I might get like a used Canon R or something.
Yeah.
But right now I have a C100, which is from Canon Cinema line. At this point, it's 9 years old, but it still does excellent 1080p, and it has a lot of nice ergonomic features. So if you are trying to go like real big and want like a camera that is still fairly affordable relative to like real cinema cameras, where you can get this used for maybe $1,500, which is like on the high end of affordable, but it's, you know, it has, you know, built-in ND filters, a lot like just a lot of cinema features that you want.
The C100 is a great camera, for the record.
Yeah, it's for
What
it's
it
not
is.
What I would recommend if you're shooting something that you're trying to have play in like a theater.
Yeah.
But if it's for web content where the main screens that are going to be are like computer screens or smaller, it's still an excellent camera.
Yeah. To piggyback off that, I do recommend like a Sony A7 II for a mirrorless. I've had it for like a year now, and it shoots amazing video. Like, it looks so good. Alternatively, you could get the Canon 70D, which I know like 3 other people who have it. It shoots great video. I used it on like every little, like, if you're in high school and you just want to like practice making movies, I used it for all my shit, and it was a really good practice camera. But the Sony A7 II looks so nice, and we almost like shot we almost shot Rhubarb on it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's pretty affordable and also small. So yeah, also like big advice is just buy a tripod, like a nice one, not like the cheap like $20 one on Amazon, but like a nice, like put a little bit into it because you use it way more than you think. At least I do, and it's just a nice thing to have.
Yeah, I have one that's kind of like a budget one that's like a budget heavy duty one, so it costs maybe $130.
Yeah.
And that's just because I needed it for the C100, which is a little too big for the really flimsy tripods.
Yeah.
But having like a fluid head where it's just you actually can do pans and stuff that don't look like garbage is nice. The last piece of advice I will have is also invest in audio equipment.
I was just
so
about to
camera and
say
audio.
that.
Audio is because you can forgive like mediocre video because the only thing that you really can't forgive in filmmaking is bad sound.
Yep.
Because that's never intentional. Sometimes bad video can be intentional.
Gummo.
Bad sound is never intentional.
Yeah.
Gummo, I think the bad part about the video was the things that he chose to film.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have like a $300 shotgun mic and like a $100 recorder, and then you just need like, you know, an XLR cable. Ideally, you'll want a boom pole. Because I mean that's big, just having the shotgun mic close. But yeah, get like a medium, you know, range shotgun mic, a cheap handheld recorder.
Yeah.
And that makes your films infinitely better than having like shooting it with a camera and using the built-in mic. That's it's not a film if you use the built-in mic.
Yeah. That actually is good advice, getting your own equipment, because the biggest pain in the ass that I've come into like trouble with is like finding a sound person, and usually like if they're good, they have their own equipment, and it gets pricey.
Yeah. Well, I was my own sound person on the Jeff Goldblum masterclass parody thing.
Oh, really?
I was the director and the sound person.
Damn.
And that I built this rig out of film, like a C stand and all this film gear that held the shotgun mic like over the area, and then I had it the thing clamped in next to me, next to like a monitor.
Yeah.
So I had a monitor right here, and then next to it I had the sound thing. So I would just hit record right before the take, and then just watch the monitor.
Damn. Yeah. So I think that's a pretty comprehensive answer for that.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, if you're trying to make your own films, obviously you need a camera, but equally as important is sound gear. So you can get a cheap recorder for like $100, and I would say don't skimp out too much on the shotgun mic. Like you can get pretty good ones in like the $200 to $300 range.
Yep.
The one I have specifically that I really like is the MKE 600 from Sennheiser. I think it's about $300.
Yep. Cool. Sweet. Do we want to? Okay. Well, I put in 2 short questions on purpose, and it's because I figured we could do the personality test.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Jeff still hasn't done yet. Do you have the link to that? Do you know where it is? Or
No.
Do I have to?
You
it
had
was
the
on
link.
Reddit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. If Jeff has anything else to say about equipment, now is the time.
Okay, put me on the spot on this one.
What do you think about green screens?
So green screens, you actually do need lights to use properly, because the whole point of a green screen is that you need to light the subject independently of the background. Because the point of the green screen is that you want the actual screen itself, which is going to be like behind someone, to be as evenly lit as possible. Because what you're doing is in post, you're keying out a specific color, and the color changes depending on how much light is on it. Even though obviously the green screen in real life is all the same color, relative to a camera color space, it really needs to be evenly lit so that in actuality it's the same color.
Yeah.
Because obviously blue with no light on it is black.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Well, I sent you the personality quiz. Do you want to share your screen for this?
Okay. So, begin assessment.
Do we have any prediction? Well, I guess we did predictions last time. I'm going to lower the brightness.
Oh, whoops. I have to go back. I accidentally hit next.
Okay,
I forgot what this was. I have to. Okay, so I'm going to need your help.
So you're pretty orderly. I would say like 75% orderly. Around there.
73.
All right. Yeah. Definitely more angelic. You're a very nice guy, Jeff. There's nothing demonic.
I would say like
about
80, 20.
Yeah. Outlaw sheriff. I would say Jeff, you're an outlaw. I'd say it.
Yeah, I'll say like slight outlaw.
Slightly.
Yeah, I'll say 60-40.
Yeah. Let's see, formal or intimate. Jeff, I would say
These aren't even opposite.
this is kind of I was gonna say this is kind of 50-50.
Yeah, this is a weird
Comfortable
question.
there. Next we have
What do they think about a therapist? They're formally intimate.
exactly. Frugal or lavish.
Okay, I'm pretty frugal.
I was gonna say.
I'm substantially frugal. I don't spend like any money.
Yeah. Let's see. We have masculine or feminine. I mean, this is up to you. I'd say I'm not gonna step in on this one.
I mean, maybe like that.
You really like sports, and
Yeah, but I don't think that really. I mean, I'll go like here, 60-40.
yeah,
I'm not like
you're not
the
a
most masculine person.
yeah no
That's not. I wouldn't say that's like a defining trait.
yeah. Social reclusive. You are again.
Well,
I think
mean,
this
here's
is
the
toss
thing.
up to
I
you.
think that this is. I think we need to go like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I don't, because obviously it's COVID. It's like what?
Yeah.
All reclusive.
I think COVID has made me more social though. COVID makes me crave like a
Well,
good
it makes you
party.
crave it, but in actuality, you're not.
Yeah.
So I'll say like this.
Yeah, for sure.
This, yeah, like 64 social.
Cool.
For people, are we gonna cut this from the audio one?
Yeah, I'll cut it from the audio. You're pretty creative, I would say. You are like
Yes.
90% creative.
Oh yeah, I'll go like 89.
Yeah. Next.
Cool.
Loyal trait.
Okay,
No,
I'm pretty loyal.
you're a loyal guy. You are a yeah.
I will.
collar.
If anyone talks bad about you, I will go to their house and yell at them to their face.
He's done it multiple times in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, don't even think about leaving a bad comment on one of his videos.
Yeah. Blue collar, ivory tower. What would you say? I think. Well,
I mean, I'm not the most blue collar, but I'm also not super.
Yeah.
Because it's not like blue collar, white collar. It's blue collar, ivory tower.
yeah.
So maybe just leave it in the middle.
Even the middle, yeah. Bossy.
Bossy or meek?
You're pretty meek, I think.
Yeah, I'm like. Well, the thing is that when I had a job and I was like kind of in charge of people, I was like a little bit bossy.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
I'll go like 55 meek.
All right.
Because I wasn't like bossy in a bad way. Like I was like the cool boss who was like, "Hey, you should do this."
Yeah, yeah. I don't think either of us can be like
We can't be like super bossy.
no.
I need people to like me too much.
Yeah. Alpha, beta.
Alpha or beta?
You know what? I'd say 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty down the middle there.
Strict lenient.
Lenient.
I mean,
Definitely
I'm
lenient.
pretty lenient.
I mean,
yeah, I'm probably 80 lenient.
Yeah. Obedient, rebellious. You know what? You're
I'm like a little rebellious.
yeah, just a teaspoon.
It's like a
though.
smidge.
Yeah.
Like 57, we'll say.
Okay. Dunce, genius. I mean,
Okay.
I don't. You're pretty smart, Jeff.
I wouldn't say I'm.
You did forget the word ice today, so let's keep that in mind here.
We'll do 51% genius.
All right. Charming, awkward.
Oh, 100% charming.
Charming.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe like 80.
80. Yeah. Deep, shallow. Well, you are tall.
Maybe like a little deep.
Yeah.
I used to be like deeper, and then I realized that like people don't want that
No.
all the time.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure that one out.
Sometimes people just want to be like, "Damn, this weather's sick," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I love this weather."
Yeah.
All my homies love weather.
Yet another soundbite. You're pretty stylish, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go like 74 stylish. Okay, but the problem. Whoops. The problem is that it's not just like conventional. It's slovenly.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to push it further in the stylish direction.
Yeah. Which you are.
So I'm gonna go 86 stylish.
That's accurate, yeah. Deranged, reasonable. You're 100% deranged. I'm kidding. You're
deranged.
that's just such an
I think
aggressive word.
I would say that reasonable is actually one of the better attributes, like, or not attributes, but adjectives to describe me, because I'm not always like smart necessarily, but I think usually I'm at least.
You're very reasonable. Yeah, no, definitely.
You're reasonable as well, because a lot of times we're like, "Hey, you want to record this day?" And we're like, "Yeah," and then a couple days later, like, "How about the next day?" And you're like, "Okay, sure." Why
Yeah,
not?
it's a great podcast chemistry.
And then you're like, "How about 3?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And you're like, "Actually, how about 1?" I'm like, "Yeah, that works too."
That is exactly what happened today. Poisonous or nurturing.
I
Definitely,
mean, I'll say like a bit nurturing.
yeah, definitely more nurturing than you are
The
poisonous.
thing is, who is gonna call themselves poisonous?
That's just the words they're choosing here are just a little bit more chaotic than they need to be.
Yeah, it's like if I just pick all the bad things, it's like you're Cruella de Vil. You
You're
kill dogs.
you're pretty adventurous. Your Europe trip and stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
definitely not
a
a stick in the mud.
Yeah, I mean, I did go to like countries without any plan at all.
Yeah, that's pretty adventurous.
We'll say 89%.
89%. Arcane, mainstream. You're definitely on the arcane
Yeah.
zone.
I'm not like full out of mainstream because again, I do like watching sports, so that's pretty mainstream to be
Yeah.
fair. But the sports I do like are not the most mainstream sports.
Like football.
I don't really like American football. That
Yeah. You like
Aha.
Feisty?
Feisty,
Gracious. You're not a very feisty guy. Well, this is a pretty
But also
50-50.
but the thing is, these are also not opposites at all
No,
in any sense.
I know. I was gonna say like It could go either way.
Like, even the musical artist Feist, I think, is gracious.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might have been the worst joke I've ever
Yeah.
made in my life.
I was like, I understand the joke. I'm just not going to respond.
Yeah, because normally even my bad jokes, you like give like a small laugh, even if it's pity, and that one you're like,
That one
I'm
was a
ignoring
full-
that. That was terrible. As I said, that deserved that.
Yeah.
Because as I said it, I'm like, why am I even saying this?
Yeah. So
We'll say that. That's fair.
That's fair for that one. Indulgent sober. I'm gonna let you take this one.
I mean, I think like slight indulgence.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
usually
yeah.
pretty
You like to
sober, but
indulge. Yeah.
mainly the indulgence is like soda and candy. That's gonna, if I'm honest,
Yeah.
which isn't like super indulgent.
Right.
All right, we're getting
Getting there.
near the
Nerd
end.
jock.
Nerd or jock?
Definitely on the nerd side, right?
Like a little bit. I mean, I can dunk a basketball.
Yeah.
That's-
You're probably
cool.
better at sports than I am, to be fair.
You're better at swimming than I am.
I'm big into cardio. Yeah. Swimming.
Yeah,
and
unless the pool is, I would beat you if the pool was only 7.5 feet long.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. I beat you in a swim race. You beat me at water polo.
I don't know if I would. I think your stamina is too.
Yeah,
too
water
good.
polo,
'Cause
I'm
water
actually-
polo
I'm
is,
actually
is a
decent
very
at.
physically
Yeah.
demanding sport. So I would beat you at soccer.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I was bad at
So
soccer.
we'll say like very slight nerd.
Yeah, for sure. Spiritual, skeptical. Once again.
I mean, does it mean skeptical about spirituality?
Yeah. I mean, once again, not complete opposites, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say maybe like slight skeptic.
Yeah. All right. Stinky.
Stinky or yeah.
Jeff is full stink. Jeff
I'm 100% stink.
Jeff is a stinky guy.
The problem is that you can't even, for like laughs, pick like a completely wrong one because then it feels like it messes up the whole process.
Yeah.
It's like I'd pick 100% stink, and it's like it just gives me like one particularly stinky character.
Yeah.
No, where it gave you Timothy Chalamet and Little Women, it's like you're Timothy Chalamet and Little Women except stinkier. I'm like, what?
He hasn't bathed in a few.
Yeah. People didn't bathe that often back then.
Yeah.
We'll go. I mean, the problem is when it's stinky, I want to go like 85 fresh. Because
Yeah.
the opposite is stinky. I don't want to say
Right.
stinky. I can't be the least stinky, I guess.
You're stinky if they want you to be stinky, you know?
Who's they?
I don't know why I played that sound. Selfish. You're not selfish at all. So
Yeah, I don't think I'm that selfish.
yeah. Let's just go there.
We'll go, but I'm not gonna be the least selfish. So
Yeah.
we'll say like 84.
Creepy.
100% creepy.
I wish I had the scream sound on deck right now. No. Yeah, this is you're pretty disarming. I'm not gonna lie.
Which is that, but the thing is, that's a compliment, so it's pretty easy not to lie about that.
Yeah.
If you were like, yeah, you're super creepy,
super
I'm not
creepy,
gonna
like-
lie.
Yeah, man.
Like honestly, I don't even like these video chats. Okay, let's see. Okay, I thought I clicked.
Yeah, I was like, it didn't change. Emotional, logical. This is a pretty
I'm
standard.
kind of
You're
middle-ish.
Yeah, I would say you're
definitely
in the middle.
somewhere in this realm.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe slightly logical.
Okay.
Why? What do you think?
I would say right down the middle, but then again, I don't.
Yeah, we'll say. I mean, I think maybe just like a hint, like that.
Yeah. All right. No. Get the results. Get the
No.
results.
May take up to 30
This
seconds.
could- yeah.
Trying. What? Okay, I've never seen Avatar.
As someone who has seen it, that's on the nose. Yeah, or not on the nose. It's on the dot. That's who you are. Yeah. Let's see what the others. Are. Will it let you see the others?
Okay, skip survey.
Skip survey.
Here we go.
So
Jake Sisko.
Jim
That's
Halpert.
tied.
You,
And Han Lu from Fast and Furious.
I can see you as Jim Halpert. Not gonna lie. I don't know if that's a compliment. But
I don't think it is.
we were just roasting him just a few days ago, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see what
I'm
else.
trying to get to the. I'm gonna see the first. Okay, I've seen like a few of the seasons of Walking Dead.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to be a Glenn.
Okay.
Glenn is like cool in the first season and then becomes more and more annoying.
Yeah.
Dr. Ellie Sattler from Jurassic Park. Neo from The Matrix? What?
I don't see that, to be honest. Unfortunately. Jules from Superbad. That's pretty accurate, kind of. Aang. You're a little bit of Aang.
Robin Hood from Robin Hood?
Bo Peep.
Bo Peep from Toy Story.
Damn.
Mulan.
Luke Skywalker. Damn.
Wow.
Nala. Yeah, I could
No.
I could see some of this. Pam Beasley. But definitely more Jim. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Forrest Gump.
Just for anyone watching the video, I'm just scrolling all the way down
Yeah.
so you can see them all. Harry Potter at 107. Like, when you get to this point, why even give you these results? Because,
right, because it's just so...
Yeah.
You're not going to be like,
you're
I
not-
guess I'm Harry Potter.
Right.
I'll take that.
You just go down until you see someone you like. You're like, oh, I'm Marge Simpson.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we finally did Jeff's personality test.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Um,
Then again, these are the top 10.
Yeah. We'll do the wrap-up now. We like to finish off by reading a review. This one comes from Chartable. It comes specifically from Arlo Boss Mate. I'm assuming that's what it says. 5 stars, and it reads, "Fun podcast, but needs more cheese toasts." I agree with that. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely lacking. But yeah. Okay. Thank you, though. Thank you, Arlo. I'm trying to figure out the patron thing. They just messed it up. It's a different layout. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, lastly, if I just spoiled it, we like to read reviews from the patrons. Or not read reviews from the patrons.
I was like,
we like
wait,
to.
what? We do?
A bunch of different. We just like to shout out our lovely patrons, give them a quick thank you. If you'd like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/Karstcast, where you can get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, Zoom Hangouts, and much, much more. We got to do a Zoom Hangout relatively soon, but we'll get there.
Yes. I am totally ready to do one in like the next week.
Yeah, we can arrange one within the next week. But yeah, this is that shout-out we promised. Thank you to Help Me Jeff, Allison Grace, Annabelle Falk, Bex, Blake Root, Boat, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, Drew Jackson, Eden, Grant Gow, Holly Edwards, Iron Tux 93, Isabel, Iva, Jacob Colness, John Van Hout, Joshua Kuzwicki, Josie Eiler, Katie T, Kiana, Liqui, Liv Rob, Lucian Vicina, Lucas Ruther, Luke Vineyard, Maddie Robertson, Molly Overbow, Martin Duff, Mary Lee Borslow, Meemaw, Michael Decker, Moses Ox, Pablo Patel, Parks, Ready Steady Ernie, Robert Burke, Sam Farr, Sophia Arieta, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Warbin, Jagerman Jensen, Taylor Hardy, 10 Billion, Toad Pimp, Vegard Strom, Vera S, Yoki Sasquatch, Yusef A, Zand. With the patrons out of the way, Jeff, I'm sorry to say that this will in fact be the final episode of the Karstcast.
Imagine if that's how you dropped it on me.
Yeah, I'm like, Jeff, I'm sorry.
I'm done.
I just, this is what it is.
You're like, I don't like this.
Jeff, I don't like doing the podcast anymore.
Remember when I said you were 100% creepy? That's why.
The truth, yeah. This was an intervention, Jeff. You need to stop being creepy. Yeah. Well, thank you,
You need
everybody.
to stop being Jim Halpert.
That does it for patrons. Thank you so much, guys.
Next week, the movie we're doing, it's on Amazon Prime in the U.S.
And it is
Guns Akimbo.
Guns Akimbo. Yep, we're talking about
starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe making great career decisions here.
I mean, to be fair, he can make whatever decisions he wants.
He can do whatever the hell he wants. Guns Akimbo. Check it out. I think that'll do. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll have meme of the week, meme of the month this week.
That should be posted at the latest.
Yep.
The day after this episode comes out.
And I promise by next week, let's say by next week's episode, this will be the last, like, hats coming soon announcement. The hats will...
I think...
There will be a thing next week.
Yeah, I think we'll be ready this week at some point. We'll be ready to, like, start taking orders.
Yep. So, that's that.
Yep.
Jeff, anything else to say?
Catch you on the flip side.
Hey, catch you on the flip side.
Flip side.
Wait, is this the... Oh, wait.
Oh, okay, there you go. What if that's the way you ended it? Just ding.
Wait. There we go.